Today our lab is surveying St. George Bat Cave. We do this every winter to check on the population of bats that hibernate here.
So these bats have been affected by an invasive fungus, causes a disease called white nose syndrome. That's killed millions of bats in North America over the past decade and a half.
For a while, we were doing laboratory work to just understand the basics of the disease, trying to understand where it came from. We've tested out some possible treatments. We've kind of moved away from that lab work to try and understand as much as we can about the surviving bats, the bats that make it through the winter. There's lots of reasons why we ought to care about bats. I think they're just fantastically cool and interesting and bizarre animals that are worth protecting because they're a neat part of nature. A little brown bat, this common species, used to be common, now endangered, has to live for the whole school year on about 2 grams of fat. This skin infection makes them warm up to a normal body temperature too often, and they end up starving to death before spring. One of the things that, at least in some places, the surviving bats appear to do, they get really fat in the fall. So we're trying to figure out if we can help more bats get as fat as bats can possibly get before the start of hibernation, so they have more energy to fight off the disease.
My research will look more about fall habitat selection and behavior in little brown bats. So during the period when they're preparing for winter, storing up fat, I'm going to be looking at how improving their roosting habitats during the fall can help them store more fat for winter.
So my research actually looks into profiling microRNA expression and identifying its causal association with the fungus. I love my research because it gives me the right amount of fieldwork and lab work.
I love being able to be in the field, be out in nature, see the animals in their kind of natural setting.
I think it's just one of the most interesting things to do in biology, is to be out here and working with wildlife firsthand.